All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Sunseti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. Tomorrow is the day, family. The three wicked sons of Abraham exposed is going down. We pulling up that treasure chest, and we three of them, and we digging down. You know that it just it's gonna be nothing but fire. You see what I'm saying? Nothing but fire, nothing but gems. All of them. Just when you got three and you already got them stacked. You know what I'm saying? With such exquisite information and visuals that'll blow the mind. You most definitely know that's gonna be one you just don't want to miss. The link is right down in the video description. Generalseti.ticketleap.com. Click that link and be in the house. Don't you go no other place other than generalseti.ticketleap.com and get your ticket today and be in the house. That's right, family. We're excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Sunseti YouTube page. Revolutionary. Y'all know what it is. Energy, frequency, feeling that. Go down in the video description, go in the chat room. You'll see where it say memberships. Ray just dropped it in there. Click that, you get a video introduction on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, most definitely you should join. And even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Sunseti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com online marketplace, 25% off selected items at this time. Shop and save, save and shop. Official General Seti DVD, lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies for the kings, the queens, and the children. Holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house, African and Kemetic jewelry. We got you, family. 25% off. KingSeti.com online marketplace. That's right, family. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. The most complete website, General Seti website with over 1,000 videos of pure heat. Not only do you got the 1,000, and it's over 1,000. Shit, it's more like probably 1,300 at this time. But you also got the supplemental but monumental and instrumental research material, lectures, documentaries of the master teachers and prominent researchers. We even got obscured documentaries that you can't find on other platforms because they don't want it there, whether it's dealing with the viruses, whether it's dealing with chemtrails and new world order, the banking systems and all that. And so we got a lot of obscure information on that. So you should most definitely get over there. Developing a Black nation one lesson at a time. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. You already know Seti popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never calm. That's right. And ain't nothing but heat on my Patreon. Those are exclusive live streams. Everyone you see on my Patreon, and it's probably over 300 on there now. You get an opportunity to see the General live where I take it up a notch. Things that I can't say on YouTube, I can say on Patreon. So you most definitely gonna get, we got fire on YouTube, but we most definitely turning up the heat on Patreon and GeneralSeti.com. So get on over there, family. If you see the lineup, you're gonna see the work that I didn't put in the last 30 days. It's like, damn, I done dropped like 2, 3 every other day. So it ain't nothing but heat. You see what I'm saying? Believe me, so get on over there, family. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels. King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Sunseti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Now, we black on our we dealing with the days of the week, and I'm warming up. We didn't came across the fall equinox, and that's very crucial time in the northern hemisphere. You see, especially for our people and their people. You understand what I'm saying? Because now, when you looking at, it's a war in heaven. You see, It's a war in heaven. And, that war in heaven is also playing out on the planet, too. You see, it's also playing with the children of the cosmos. And so, we being the children of the sun, and, we are our most powerful when the Holy Father is, scorching the planet. You see what I'm saying? And it's warm, and we are being energized by the Holy Father. You see, but now we are in the northern hemisphere. You see, and we are in the realm of the frigid. You see, we're in the land of the frigid. And so you talking about Frigga. We are dealing with today. We're gonna be dealing with Frigga, which is the queen of the Nordic gods, named after Friday. You see, we don't understand that, and we have to understand that if we intend on winning. You see, because I always bring out etymology, because in the etymology is power. You see, understanding what's coming out of your mouth. You see, and understanding the root of it. You see, that's why I love breaking down Naga and breaking down Negus and breaking down all the manifestations of that, showing the power that we have all over the planet. In it was always, in the word, and it was always in the spelling. The energy was there, and that's why they didn't want us to say it. If it was something that would destroy us, they wouldn't give a goddamn. What would they say? Don't say nigga. You had the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal come out with movements talking about don't say nigga. For what? They don't support nothing that benefited. If they would support don't say the word nigga, like they support giving black people some loans at the goddamn to start up businesses and giving us our goddamn reparations and all this, that, and the third. If they was that energetic about those programs and those movements as much as they was trying to get us to stop, the stop saying nigga movement, then we would be in, we could see, some progress. But that's not the reason why they don't want us to say nigga. You understand what I'm saying? First and foremost, it's going to lead to the other, the other words that, it entail and embody that same frequency that show us in a divine light, like negus, nagas, and all the other forms of that term, nega. You see what I'm saying? And they didn't want us to see that. They didn't want us to speak because it's like it's a frequency, it's a mantra. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't want you saying that because they know it empowers our people. And the more you put it into the atmosphere, you understand, the more, it sends a frequency around the world. And this is what we're talking about when you speak, is frequencies, this energy that you put out there. You see? And so the thing is, we are in the northern hemisphere. You see what I'm saying? So understanding that a certain time of the year, it get cold in this motherfucker. And so this is day home court advantage. You see what I'm saying? That's why when, you got the Olympics, when you got the winter, when you got the summer Olympics, you see niggas, they just, all track and field and shit, this, that. But they had to create a goddamn Olympics of their own, which is, they call the Winter Olympics and shit. And that's all them. You see, they the ones, and then you get some niggas that come up in that shit and do some shit. You see what I'm saying? That's how cold our people's is. You know what I'm saying? But all that skiing and shit, and that's them. You see what I'm saying? So anything that's around that cold and shit, they are, the forerunners of that. They're the forerunners of that. And so this is a time for them, because when the sun sets, we dealing with the occult now. We dealing with the frequencies and energy. When the sun sets, or and it has dropped below the equinox. You see what I'm saying? It has fallen. It has fallen. You see, and so what happens is The days will be darker, longer than there will be light. You see? And so shit, you know, in shit, 5 o'clock, it's gonna come a time, 5 o'clock, it's gonna be dark. Nigga, it's gonna be dark. 5 o'clock. Nigga, that's how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be goddamn dark at 5 o'clock, 5:15. You see? And so when the sun begins to set, you know, and drop below, you know, the equinox, it falls. It say, you hear it say it's falling. You know, then this is a time that the demons and shit, they dance. You know, because you got to understand the vampires and you know, and all these demonic entities, they don't perform when the sun, that's our savior. That's our great champion. You know, and they don't come out when the sun is out, but when the sun is falling, then they come out. Now, right around September 23rd, that's the fall equinox. Now, at that point, the veil is thin. What does that mean? That means now that, you know, the gates will open for many of these northern entities, demons and shit come to the planet. They have access to the planet. You see, they don't have to hide, you know what I'm saying, as much. You see, with it being cold and so on and so forth, you know, they can exist, you know, and like I said, you know, in the fall, you know, it's gray a lot, it's wet a lot, it's gloomy a lot. The fog come in. And see, the fog is like, it's almost like when the gates open, you know, from the underworld, that fog and shit come up. You see, and so, you know, these spirits and shit can exist inside of the fog. That's where they exist. And so you know, many times, because like I say, coming from Detroit, I remember I used to see it when I was young. You know, being out, coming home from school, especially in the fall, and you know, staying, you know, and you don't bring your ass home like you supposed to, we'll be out there playing. Everybody will be gone. And you look around, man, and it'd be like, you know, it literally don't be nobody on the fucking street. You know, when it get like, you know, that time, you know, I'm talking about them real serious winters. And, you know, back in the day, you know, where it was literally winter, nigga, you know what I'm saying? And fall was fall. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, you know, it was gloomy and shit. You know what I'm saying? And man, you look around and there's nobody out there and it's gloomy and shit. And you literally, if you hear shit, and it's gloomy and you like seeing shadows and shit. You know, you see shadows and you be looking like, damn, was somebody, you know, hiding, you think that way. Like, damn, I know I heard that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like some Jack the Ripper shit. When motherfuckers is in the fog and you know you hear some motherfucker shoes tapping on the concrete, but you don't see them and you looking and shit. Like, you know, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And so this is this is what it's about. And reality is, again, just like I taught in the last one, a lot of times it ain't the mystical, magical. It be the minds that understand what time it is. There be these serial killer type motherfuckers that be, you know, this is the time that they move. And that's why I showed y'all in the last video that a lot of these goddamn serial killers was born in November. You understand? Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, some top motherfuckers was in, and they say November has the greatest list of motherfucking serial killers than any other month by far. Not by far, and some of the most gruesome motherfuckers of all time. You see what I'm saying? And so that show you right there when that veil come up. And so these gods that's in the days of the week, this is the season in which they rise up. They more profound, even in the holidays. These are their holidays in these particular months. You see what I'm saying? And so Now, this Frigga, which is the queen of the Nordic gods, she's a witch, period. Not nobody, not me saying she's literally a witch. You see what I'm saying? If you watch the fucking Marvel comic movie, she even talking to her son. She said right there on the movie, boy, don't you know I was raised by witches? She say the shit on the movie. So, it's a term that they use is Volva. It's Volva. Volva, which you see up there, which is a witch. And really, Odin is literally, he's a witch. You know what I'm saying? You can say sorcerer, this, that, and the third. That's why you see the Merlins and the Gandalfs on Lord. That's Odin. You see what I'm saying? So it's one aspect of him where he's a warrior deity, but then you got the other aspect where he's a sorcerer. He's into the runes and shit, and that's these symbols and shit, which is showing me something else, how they got these symbols and shit, because they didn't have none of that. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have none of that. You see, even when you see the rune stones and they look like stellar, you see they be rounded off at the top and they put their little symbols on there. You see what I'm saying? Somebody then gave them something. You see what I'm saying? But, and so Odin, when you look at the day in which his day fall on, Woden, which is Wednesday, before it was Wednesday, it was Mercury. That was the day. The days in many other parts of the world where the Germanic tribes didn't have any influence, if you in other parts of in Europe, they call it out by the planet. They don't say Wednesday. That's just for areas because Great Britain is technically a part of the Pan-Germanic Empire, meaning Vikings took over Britain. You see what I'm saying? So this American white man is a Viking by blood. So I just want y'all to know that. That's why the days of the week are named after Viking deities. You see what I'm saying? And the crazy thing, some of the most brutal shit that's a part of as far as vocabulary that isn't come right out of the Viking language. These is some demonic motherfuckers. I'm just one. And so you wonder why it's so much. And you talk about killing. You see in America and shit and this, that, and the third. And then you think about the Vikings and then you think about the fucking vocabulary of motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? Berserk. You know what I'm saying? Berserkers. Some of the crack troops of Odin was the Berserkers. It's not that they were named after the Berserk. Berserk was taken from Berserkers. Scandinavia, scandalous. You see what I'm saying? Even in this bitch name, you got Frigga, then you got Frigid. See, her name is rooted in some shit that's cold. Fright. You see, fright is also in Frigga. Rigor mortis, rig. R-I-G, rigor mortis. Then you got freeze and shit. So that right there show you that this is a cold-blooded motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? Now, as we're going to get, and then we talk about, let me put something up here. So we have an understanding, that you calling on these deities. And I don't give a fuck what day, unless you understand who they are so you can neutralize them. You see, but if you speaking in ignorance, then you venerating. That's what you're doing. You're venerating. Let me get this. Okay, here we go. Now, see, a lot of people don't understand when you see TGI Fridays. Thank God it's Friday. You hear that? Thank God it's Friday. Thank what God? What God is you thanking, motherfucker? Let's think about it now. It said TGI Fridays. Thank God it's Friday. What God is you thanking, nigga? Frigga. See, see, that's just like Ruby Tuesday. See, Tuesday is T-Wise. You see? And you don't understand that the ruby is only symbolic. We looked it up. Blood. One of the aspects of the red ruby is fire. The other aspect of it is blood. So when they say Ruby Tuesday, Bloody Tuesday, bloody T-Wise. You see, we talking about blood sacrifice. Now, that's another thing, because it is, we are entering into winter. And so many of the top holidays is during this time. You got Samhain, which they call Halloween. That's when the door opens up. You see, the door opens up. Then you got now November is very significant, because November for the Vikings is what they call blot month. Blot month. And blot means blood. And so what does that mean? That means that it's getting to a certain point in, where it's getting cold, and they got all these cattle and they got all these goats and shit, and they know they ain't gonna be able to keep them alive during the winter. So they kill all, what they can't keep. They're gonna kill it. They're gonna store the meat. You see, they're gonna keep enough alive that where they could jumpstart for the next year. But all the rest they're gonna cut up and prepare it, and store it for food, and they're gonna have sacrifice to the gods. So Blot Month is really the biggest festival, one of the biggest festivals that they have in honoring the gods, and they're gonna sacrifice. They show how they sacrifice horses, they sacrifice the cows and shit, and this, that, and the third. They cut them up, they take their skins and shit, and they put them on poles and shit in veneration to the gods. And so Thursday, you see, we talking about Thanksgiving in November. See, Thanksgiving in November, and Blot, one of the deities that's heavily venerated during Blot Month, which is November, is Thor. You see, and that's why Thanksgiving is the only major holiday, and that's practiced on Thursday. You see, that's very significant. You see, that's very significant that was, and it was created just for that, the respect of that coming up out of the Viking. You see, and then here we is with Friday, with Frigga, who is the mother. She's the mother goddess. Now, the crazy thing about it, the oldest depiction of her. This is one of the oldest depictions. Now I got the one where she was actually, it's a church. I believe it was a church. Let me get that out here so you can see the bottom. And so this is a 12th century mural of the goddess Frigga riding on a broom. It's actually a tree, a distaff. In the cathedral, this is in Germany. So this is really where you get the witch riding on a broom. She was the initial goddess shown riding on the broom, and this is where the witch comes from. It ain't that she's a witch. Many of the aspects of the witch come from her. So I just want y'all to know what the fuck, when we talk about Friday, this is a veneration of witchcraft. It's no goddamn doubt about it. It's no doubt about it. It ain't no getting away from this shit. You see? And so this was one of the key things that, that is brought up, that she is not. Matter of fact, now this is another one right here. And see right here it says Germany formerly this is I'm not going to try to pronounce that church. You understand? Holstein, I can pronounce that. Germany, formerly Denmark, are the earliest known depictions considered to be witches in two murals attributed as Frigga and Frigga. Considered, are the earliest known depictions considered to be witches in two murals attributed as Freya and Frigga. Now, these are two goddesses that very similar. Frigga is the more popular one, who is the wife of Woden. You see, which later goes on to become Mrs. Claus. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Woden and Frigga go on to become Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. I say, well, ain't this about a damn shame? You see what I'm saying? This is some crazy shit. This is this is a Volva. I want y'all to see what these motherfuckers look like. Now, Volva is a Viking witch, and they known for the staff, and that's really where the goddamn witch riding on the broom come from. You see what I'm saying? Come from them Volvas and shit, and it's some crazy shit that, about them. What is a Volva? A Volva was a woman in the Viking age who practiced magic, known as sedir or seer, literally to bind. You see what I'm saying? So, and they use mushrooms and all type of crazy shit, and it was literally a position for a woman, even though a man, but usually if a man took on a position like that, they looked at him as, because it was certain shit that you had to wear. So they looked at him like he was tutti frutti. So they, it was basically a position that was held by one of the a woman, the white woman. That's what it was. It was a position for her. And so you look at the area in which, she her castle and shit, it was a bog, it was a swamp. This is the shit that, where her presence was. So you already know her spirit. You see what I'm saying? Swamp thing and shit. This, that, and the third. So we already know that type of frequency. And you can see here, the demonic entities that, were connected. You see the rise of the Volva and shit, and so they were always looked at as demonic entities. I mean, anything that's dealing with the society is looked at as either destructive of carnage or barbarian. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to understand this is the shit that's coming up out of our mouth every fucking day. You see what I'm saying? And motherfuckers love Friday because that's when you get paid. Yeah, they love Friday. You know what I'm saying? You really gonna celebrate on her day. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna go out there, spend your money, get out there, get drunk, get killed and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever. You see, this is not, and Frigga took the place of Venus. In the Roman calendar, it would have been Venus. You see what I'm saying? So Wednesday would have been Mercury. Thursday would have been Jupiter's day. You see, and Tuesday would have been the day of Mars. So you already know T-Wise and Mars, carnage. So all of these, all these Viking deities about carnage. But this is the particular part of the movie where she say, "I was raised by witches, boy." You can go right there and let it be known. So, how motherfuckers talking about they Christians, they Muslims, and they all this, that, and the third. And motherfucker, you call on these gods every fucking day. Even the niggas in the culture. See, the reason why I give them to you so you can neutralize the frequency and understand this shit. You know what I'm saying? That we had to get this shit out of our vocabularies. You see what I'm saying? And you have, by at least understanding it, you can neutralize it. You take the power out of it. You see what I'm saying? You got, and that's what you must do. If you can command your vocabulary, understanding the root of etymology, then you can neutralize, you know, your vocabulary. You can empower, or neutralize. You can empower you in those things that are African. You empower those things that are not. You neutralize it and you disperse it. You see what I'm saying? You say it and you say, you know what? And you break down the science of that and neutralize it and let people know that this is what it is. You see, but listen, when you talk about what God you call on in America the most, these are the gods that you call. I don't give a fuck if you Christian, Muslim, a Jew. I don't give a fuck if you in the culture. You understand what I'm saying, man? When you gonna pay me, nigga? I'm gonna pay you Friday. I'm gonna pay you Friday, man. That Friday, Thursday. This is gonna be the deities that you call on the most. You see what I'm saying? And then after the daily deities, then it's gonna be the monthly deities. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be the monthly deity, but when you say Friday, it is the day of Frigga. You see, a demonic entity, a witch, a goddamn witch, bitch in the goddamn swamps and shit, fucking cooking motherfuckers and shit, boiling motherfuckers, eating cannibals. These motherfuckers is cannibals, man, straight up. So we got the brain, and this is why I continue. And no matter, I know where motherfuckers is at. I tell motherfuckers, I judge them by the holidays. Ain't no motherfucking way you gonna get away from that. That's how I judge motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? Because see, in the holidays is the greatest veneration celebration throughout the land. That's gonna gauge where motherfuckers is at. Period. You understand what I'm saying? That's gonna I tell you what. I don't give a fuck what a nigga talking about on YouTube. I don't give a fuck if motherfucker assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. I don't give a fuck if they talking about hallelujah, how I fooled you. I don't give a fuck if they saying hotel. I don't give a fuck what they saying. You see what I'm saying? Gauge them motherfuckers by them holidays. If them holidays and you check them numbers and you see that motherfuckers is, because these is really occult rituals and celebrate the greatest. They have, daily, but these are your great, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving too. It's a lot of occultism in Thanksgiving people don't know about, and that's why I had to do that one. But of course, Halloween is the one that kicked the dough in. Then you got Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? And that's another doorway that leads into Christmas. You see what I'm saying? That leads into Christmas. And then within that week, man, I mean, it's so many it's like, that's why they say the 12 day is really Yule. Ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn Christmas. And so you got the 12. And so within that ain't nothing but ritualisms all the way through there. You see what I'm saying? Christmas, then you got, because during, the 12 days of Christmas, which especially in the Catholic, they doing something every day. You understand what I'm saying? Every goddamn day. And then when you get into the Eastern Orthodox, they damn Christmas is on January the 6th. You see what I'm saying? Because when you talking about, I believe they operate still on the Julian calendar. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was 2 weeks taken out of that or however many days that was taken out. So they operate on the Julian calendar. So they had a shit on January the 6th. And so, I gauge motherfuckers how they move during these goddamn Cro-Magnon times. These are their holidays. And if motherfuckers is entrenched into worship and ritualism during these times, I don't give a fuck what a nigga talking about. I know where their minds and their motherfucking spirits is at. So this is a heavy gauge. You see, even economically, it's a heavy gauge. You see what I'm saying? If the majority of our people, because we holiday niggas. And you know, black people, we like to spend more, you know, shit, we spend more money than any motherfucker. In what, you know, when it come to things like that. You see what I'm saying? We go all out. I don't give a fuck what holiday. We go all out. Niggas out there popping firecrackers, motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? Your ass was in the bottom of the boat when goddamn 4th of July happened. Niggas be out there popping more firecrackers than the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal. You might, you know, motherfucker got their colonial hats on out there and shit with they lanterns and shit out there popping firecrackers. Motherfucker was in the bottom of the goddamn boat. And so that's how we is. And so if every holiday, motherfuckers is spending millions. This is facts. So that right there let me know that the occult world of white people got a imprisoning control over the minds and spirits of our people, even the motherfuckers that's professing to be of another religion. Don't make no goddamn difference, because when people show them the symbolisms of these holidays and put it right there in front of their face, they know it ain't got nothing to do with their goddamn religion, but they still they participate and they celebrate, and that's proof positive of a motherfucker that's possessed. That's it. So you think that it's just, oh, we just know, motherfucker, you are possessed. You're possessed. You see what I'm saying? You cannot break the chains. It's just like what's the motherfucker name? Ebenezer. You understand what I'm saying? Ebenezer. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker gonna have to come. Motherfucker gonna have to get the ghosts of our ancestors to show up, nigga, like they showed up for Ebenezer. You see what I'm saying? And they're gonna have to kidnap your motherfucking ass. You see what I'm saying? And show you. Take your ass, you know what I'm saying? You know, literally on some Ebenezer Scrooge shit. And take your ass, you know, the ghosts of yesterday, and then the ghosts of the day, and the ghosts of the future. And our African ancestors, you know, with the chains and shit, just like they had the one. And he said, who the fuck? The motherfucker had the chains and shit. You know, we're gonna have to have our African ancestors with the chain. We're gonna have to show your ass the various, you know, yesterday, the present, and the future. And when they show you, as long as you niggas keep continuing, this is my gauge. You know, and I continue. That's why I go hard on the holidays, because I know that this is probably the premier goddamn battlefield. You see what I'm saying? Because if you could break motherfuckers from spending this money on these, do you know how much money, and get them to reverse that? You understand what I'm saying? Because you got it. Don't say you ain't got it. Man, do you know how much motherfuckers spend? And really, look at that. You know how much niggas spend on one holiday? One holiday as a collective. Now imagine all the holidays. I'm not talking about nothing else. I'm not talking about blunts. I'm not talking about this, that, and the third. I'm just talking about on holiday. How much shit, not the presents. I'm talking about the get highs and, you know, all that that go into the celebration, the food. We ain't talking about the food, the drinks, everything that go along with that. And then you think about every motherfucking holiday and you add that up, nigga, that's a nation. We spend more money on the holidays, black people in them, than most nations' economy. Do we understand that? They whole fucking economy. Black people in America spend more money on holidays then damn near, listen, it's only a few fucking nations on the planet. And that just show you, you understand what kind of, money we have access to. You see what I'm saying? It's only not America as a nation. We talking about black people in America. It's not too many motherfucking nations out here. Whole fucking economies got access to the kind of money we got access to, and we still in the state that we in. That just show you that we have shit, but it don't mean shit. It's dissipate because the shit that we spend it on is some bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with our upliftment and our liberation. That's just the facts. And the only way you can have access to that kind of wealth, and I understand I don't want to hear nothing. Well, fuck that. That's just an excuse. No way you can have access to that kind of money and don't use it for the benefit of your uplift and your liberation is that you are possessed. Your mind and your spirit is possessed. And you cannot control. You understand what I'm saying? The greater self. You don't got no, if it's there, it's probably locked in a prison inside of you, and somebody, gonna have to travel deep down in the spirits of our people and unlock that prison deep down in their soul to let the higher self out. They don't have no control over that. And so, family, we're gonna continue to wake our people up. We'll put the information out there. Wake them up. Continue to wake them up. They slowly but surely, eyes are opening. And that's what we have to do. We can't make them wake up, but we can damn sure continue to teach the truth so they can at least see it and feel that vibration and that energy. All right, family. This is General Sarasun Seti. Hey, it's Saturday. See? It's Saturday. It's Saturn's Day. Huh? It'll be Sunday, and I'm all right with the Sunday. I'm all right with Ra's Day. But it's Saturn's Day. So make sure you understand that, because he's a wicked motherfucker too. You understand what I'm saying? Be careful out there, family. We ain't done. This is General Sarasun Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.